Hello everyone, and welcome to my Young and the Restless official 24 channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. The storm that had blanketed Genoa City for hours finally began to ease, the wind dying down into a mournful hush as the early morning sun tried to pierce the heavy grey sky. Each ticking second in Memorial Hospital was only matched by the soft beeps and hums of the machines that kept Lily Winters alive. Even though her body was weak and her vision was blurry, her face, which was pale and covered in sweat, turned toward the window. The doctors had done everything they could. Now, it only took a few hours, if that. Earlier, Nate had pulled Kane aside to give him the gloomy update. He had said, in a low voice that was riddled with unspoken emotion, "She doesn't have much longer. Now is the time to say anything that needs to be said between you two." Under him, Kane's world crumbled. Just hours earlier, he thought Lily was battling nothing more serious than stress, a fever and possibly exhaustion. But the truth was far more chilling. She was betrayed by more than just her body. It was the time she no longer had. The look in her eyes when she first collapsed in his arms that morning was what haunted him more than the possibility of losing her. That hollow, haunted look. She was concealing something. Something massive. He pushed open the hospital room door gently, heart pounding. He recoiled at the sight of her lying there with tubes in her arms and skin that was almost transparent. How had it come to this? They had fought so hard to find their way back to each other after everything. Cheating, betrayal, the prison sentence, the years apart. And now, when they finally found peace, life was about to take it away from them. As he stepped closer to her bedside, he whispered, "Lily. It's me, it's Kane." Her lashes were fluttering as she briefly stirred. Her voice was so soft he almost didn't hear it. "Kane, I need to tell you something. I can't take anything with me, everything I've held in." He sat, quickly grabbing her hand. "Never say that. You're going to get better, okay? We'll go home. We'll just take the kids, Anne." She responded with a firm but hesitant no. "There's no more time. Don't tell me a lie. I know what's happening. I know I'm dying." Kane's heart cracked. "Don't." "I have to," she insisted, tears streaming from the corners of her eyes. "Before time runs out." He tightened his grip on her hand. "Whatever it is, just tell me." And then, Lily Winters exhaled, as if shedding years of pain, guilt, and secrets with one breath. Her eyes locked onto his, burning with truth. "I never told you something about what happened when I left town that year," I said. "When I stated that I required space. That wasn't the whole truth. I wasn't just fleeing your actions with Juliet, I was also protecting someone." The Kane froze. "Who?" she said. "Our child." The words detonated in his chest like a bomb. "What?" She nodded slowly. "Kane, I was pregnant. After you cheated on me. I found out. And I didn't tell you. I didn't think I could handle raising a child in that storm. So I left." But you told me," he stammered. "You told me there was no baby." "I lied. I was scared. But that's not the secret. Not the genuine one." Kane was shaking now. "Lily, please. I lost the child. However, prior to that, I met someone. A person who assisted me. A man named Damien." The name was unfamiliar, but it sent a chill up Kane's spine. Who was he? She looked away. "He was complicated. Dangerous. However, I believed he saved me. I believed he brought me peace. Until I realized he was using me, which was the truth. He wasn't just a man trying to help. He was working for someone. Observing me. Influencing me. And when I lost the baby, he disappeared." Kane was in disarray. "Why would anyone?" "Because of who I am," Lily said, with effort. "Because of your identity. Someone who wanted to destroy us sent Damien. He wanted information. Secrets from our family. Chancellor Winters in relation to your connections. I didn't know it then, but it was Carter." "Carter?" Kane had cold blood. She nodded. "He has been orchestrating for a long time. Not just with Amanda. Not just with Nick and Sharon. With us, too. Damien was nothing more than one of his puppets. And you never told me any of this." Kane asked, torn between heartbreak and betrayal. I was going to, she whispered. But then it came out that Carter had passed away. I believed it was over. I thought I could protect you and the kids by keeping it buried. He murmured, shaking his head. Lily. She declared, there is more. Damien's not dead. He's here, Kane. City of Genoa. Last week, he visited me. He put me in danger. He told me if I didn't stay quiet, he'd come after you. After the kids. He is too well versed. And now that Carter's gone, he wants to take control. Kane stood up abruptly, panic setting in. We need to call the police. Victor needs to be contacted. Devon. Anyone. Lily said in an urgent voice. No. You must pay attention. There is something concealed. A piece of paper in my safe at home. I gave it to you. It is evidence, emails, files, and everything else that Damien gave me before he left. If something happens to me, you have to expose him. It's the only way to protect the kids. Lily, don't talk like this, Kane pleaded. We intend to fight this. You're going to live. She said softly, I'm sorry. For the rumors. For all the years we failed. I have always loved you. Kane broke. While freely shedding tears, he pressed his forehead against hers. You were the only constant in my life. Now, I'm losing you. She smiled faintly, hand trembling as she reached for his cheek. You won't lose me. I'll always be here. In your heart. In the children. But you have to be strong. For Charlie. For Matty. For me. Additionally, you must stop Damien. Promise you. I promise, he choked. Her breath was labored. She muttered, her eyes flickering like a candle in the wind. Say it again. I swear, Lily. I'll protect them. He will stop. And with that, her hand went still in his. The monitor in front of her sagged. Lily. Kane screamed, and in a flurry of panic, nurses rushed the room with defibrillator pads and shouted orders. But it was too late. He had lost the woman he had adored all his life. But what was the secret she kept? It was about to tear Genoa City apart. Kane had no recollection of the hospital walk. He moved forward with his feet, but his soul had remained in that cold, white room where Lily's last breath smelled like smoke and held him there. It was as if nothing existed. It was all just noise, the machines, the nurses, Nate's condolences on his shoulder. Static. Lily had vanished. He also continued to breathe. It appeared as though the entire world had lost its color as we drove home. The weight of it all finally fell away when he turned the key to their front door and entered the still house. Her sweater was still hanging on the coat rack. Half full from a long-forgotten morning, her favorite mug was sitting on the counter. Her perfume lingered in the air in a faint trace. And then, her voice echoed in his mind. Something is in the safe. Proof. Files. Emails. Damien. He bolted to the study. Behind the bookshelf in their shared home office, hidden behind framed family photos and awards, was the small digital safe she rarely used. He punched in the code, her mother's birthday, with trembling fingers. It clicked open. A sealed envelope with his name written in her handwriting and a flash drive were the only items contained within. He opened the envelope first. Kane. If you're reading this, it means I'm gone. I'm sorry you have to carry this weight, but I know you can do it. Damien is dangerous. Not only because of what he knows, but also because of who he knows. He's connected to powerful people. Judges. CEOs. Politicians. Even people inside Chancellor Winters. The flash drive has everything. His messages to me, the transfer records, offshore accounts, evidence that ties Carter's operations to Damien's network. I didn't tell you sooner because I was scared. But now I know that lying is more dangerous than being silent. Use this information. Take care of the kids. Tell Devon. Inform Victor. Trust Amanda. And Kane, don't let this get to you as well. Fight. For SIE. I cherish you. Never have I, Lily. As he held the letter to his chest, he shook his hands and silently shed hot tears. He had begged for her trust for years, and when she died, she gave him everything. The love, the danger, and the secrets. All of it. He knew right away when he opened the flash drive on his laptop that this wasn't just some paranoid collection. It was a treasure trove of corruption. Using aliases, Damien sends emails, screenshots of texts between Lily and unknown numbers, documents from a shell company and evidence of large wire transfers to Cayman Islands accounts all point to the same person, a man who goes by the name The Architect. A particular audio file stood out. A recording was involved. You think Carter was a problem? A man's voice growled. He was inexperienced. At this point, I am the one in charge. If you open your mouth, Lily, if you even think about telling Kane, your kids will disappear without a trace. Kane's fists clenched. His fury grew primal as it boiled over. Damien. That name had haunted Lily in her final days, and now Kane had a face for the villain. He grabbed his phone. Devon was my first call. Kane, what's going on? Devon's voice was alert but hazy. Kane said quietly, she's gone. Lily's gone. The line did not speak. Oh my God. Devon finally whispered. What took place? She was sick. Worse than any of us knew. However, she left a trace. Evidence. Damien, he's alive. He threatened her. He's connected to Carter. This is more extensive than any of us anticipated. Kane could hear Devon's heavy and jerky breathing despite the fact that Devon was silent. Devon said, I'm coming over, at long last. Remain there. Kane had printed dozens of documents from the drive and scattered them across the dining table by the time Devon got there. Devon couldn't believe his eyes. Is it real? He asked. Yes, Kane replied. Every bit of it. She stated Damien is present. City of Genoa. She was attempting to halt him. Devon picked up a document, a money wire from a fake non-profit tied to Chancellor Winters. We've got a leak. I think we've got a whole damn pipeline, Kane muttered. They organized and connected the dots for hours. Names kept coming up, some of which were familiar and others that were a mystery. M. Ashcroft. P. Castillo. J. Newman. Wait, Newman? He narrowed his eyes at Kane. He opened a hidden subfolder and found a photo. Claire, Victor's granddaughter, was the person. She was sitting Claire. Kane spoke out loud. What the hell is going on? Devon blinked. No way. Claire has just settled into her new life. Then why is she having coffee with her extortionist? Devon stroked his face with his hand. We need to talk to Nick. Also Victor now. Before they could act, Kane's phone buzzed again. Unknown amount, he responded. Hello. A distorted voice responded. You discovered the road. That was an error. The Kane froze. Damien. I advised her. She got a chance from me. Kane, do you wish to follow her? Keep looking. The line was cut off. Kane looked over to Devon. He is aware. Devon said, we don't back down now. Lily died for a reason. Devon's urgent messages prompted Nick Newman and Amanda Sinclair to arrive at the residence within an hour. Amanda looked shaken, her eyes rimmed red. Nick, who had just survived a near-death experience of his own, was furious. How the hell does this all tie together? Nick demanded, pacing. First Carter, now Damien? Claire? What is happening in this city? As she perused the files, Amanda came across something that made her gasp. Oh my God, she whispered. This is a fake document. In the court case against Chancellor Winters' expansion into Italy, this was used. At the time, I thought something wasn't right. Do you believe Damien forged legal documents to harm the business? Kane inquired. No. I think he orchestrated the entire Italian deal, from behind the curtain. During my sister's case, Carter used this name, Ashcroft, to bribe a judge. Nick gave his jaw a rub. This is much larger than we anticipated. Devon continued. And now he's threatening Kane. Claire. Kane spoke out loud. What the hell is going on? Devon blinked. No way. Claire has just settled into her new life. Then why is she having coffee with her extortionist? Devon stroked his face with his hand. We need to talk to Nick. Also Victor now. Before they could act, Kane's phone buzzed again. Unknown amount, he responded. Hello. A distorted voice responded. You discovered the road. That was an error. The Kane froze. Damien. I advised her. She got a chance from me. Kane, do you wish to follow her? Keep looking. The line was cut off. Kane looked over to Devon. He is aware. Devon said, we don't back down now. Lily died for a reason. Devon's urgent messages prompted Nick Newman and Amanda Sinclair to arrive at the residence within an hour. Amanda looked shaken, her eyes rimmed red. Nick, who had just survived a near-death experience of his own, was furious. How the hell does this all tie together? Nick demanded, pacing. First Carter, now Damien? Claire, what is happening in this city? As she perused the files, Amanda came across something that made her gasp. Oh my God, she whispered. This is a fake document. In the court case against Chancellor Winter's expansion into Italy, this was used. At the time, I thought something wasn't right. Do you believe Damien forged legal documents to harm the business? Kane inquired. No. I think he orchestrated the entire Italian deal, from behind the curtain. During my sister's case, Carter used this name, Ashcroft, to bribe a judge. Nick gave his jaw a rub. This is much larger than we anticipated. Devon continued, and now he's threatening Kane. Nick's eyes flared. He is posing a threat to Lily's family. That is warfare. Amanda nodded. We should go public. Let Victor handle it his way. Kane said in a low voice. No. We do this my way. He doesn't run away from us. He's caught by us. Devon looked at him. You're talking revenge. No, Kane replied. I'm talking justice. For Lily. A car sat motionless outside the Abbott mansion. Inside sat Damien, a tall, clean-shaven man with an eerie calm and dead eyes. On his lap was a folder. Inside it, photos of Kane, Devon, and Amanda inside the house. Behind him, a phone rang. He responded. Yes. The reply came from a gravelly voice. They are aware. Slowly, Damien nodded. Yes, they do. What is the strategy? We burn everything down. He hung up, rolled down his window slightly, and flicked a lighter, watching the flame dance, like Lily's life flickering out in that hospital bed. Kane was still crying as he stood in Lily's old closet holding one of her dresses. There were too many memories here. A lot of regrets. But then, behind her hanging dresses, something caught his eye. A box. Plain. Unmarked. He pulled it down and opened it. Inside, an ultrasound photo. One he had never seen. A tiny figure floating in black and white, labeled, Baby A. The expected due date is March 2019. A second photo beneath it, labeled, Baby B. Twins? Kane gasped for air. She did not miscarry a child. She was down too. His knees gave out as he sank to the floor, sobbing. In addition to Lily. But for the children they'd never meet. For the truth she carried alone. Pertaining to the upcoming war. In addition to for the man he was about to become. No more second chances. No more muteness. The storm of Kane Ashby had just been sparked by Daniel, the man who had killed Lily's spirit and posed a threat to their family. And Genoa City would never be the same. Kyle and Audra are in danger, as Lily informs Nate that Damien is dead. According to the Young and the Restless spoilers for Tuesday, July 29th, Lily Winters will inform Nate Hastings that Damien Kane has passed away. Kyle Abbott and Audra Charles will also enter the danger zone. So let's talk about what's coming up on the CBS soap. Kane Ashby will face a lot of backlash now that the chaos in Nice has become even more deadly. People will gather to accuse Kane of causing the situation that resulted in Damien and Chance Chancellor's deaths. Naturally, Carter will also pass away from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Consequently, Amanda Sinclair will coordinate with the authorities and ensure that the bodies are conveyed to the coroner's office. However, Billy Abbott and Phyllis Summers will become Kane's biggest defenders on Tuesday's Y&R episode. When Kane invited everyone to his estate for a party and the reveal of his true identity, he had no idea that there would be so much bloodshed. Phyllis and Billy won't think it's fair for Carter to receive such a hostile response because Kane never knew what Carter could do. When it comes to joining the Kane defense, Billy and Phyllis will undoubtedly have ulterior motives. It'll mostly be Billy and Phyllis' way of buttering Kane up for the Chancellor alliance they both still want.